Japal, how are you doing? Hey, in this video, how to let go of trying to get something or somewhere which actually, disconnect you from where you're currently at, and that can create an enormous feeling of lack and separation and isolation within yourself, because what you're doing, you're actually, beating a drum that you are not where you want to be, which can only disconnect you even more from the things you really want. So in this video I want to share a very powerful manifestation technique to actually help you to overcome that delusion we all have in this society, because we are so obsessed with trying to get something or go somewhere that because of that illusion we suffer tremendously from a lot of stress, anxiety, burnout, you name it. All right, so in this video I want to help you to realign yourself with with your true self, your core essence, where you can experience more inner peace, joy, satisfaction, fulfillments, and everything that your soul is really after. So why is this so important again? Because I feel like we are moving to a society that seems to become a little bit more narcissistic, and even when you are, let's say, an intuitive empath, sensitive, and you have, let's say, been through a kind of like abusive relationship where there was forms of narcissism. You don't even have to be in a relationship with someone who had a full-blown narcissistic personality disorder. Even when one of your parents or whatever had a few narcissistic traits, you can still experience this deep inner feeling like something is missing. You can feel an enormous lack or sadness and emptiness within yourself, deep feeling of isolation and separation within yourself. And then you think about, oh, if I could only go and get there, then I will be happier, then I will be finally fulfilled and satisfied and whatnot, right? Again, it's still an illusion, because you are still separating yourself from where you're currently at. So let's have a look at how can we change that. How can we learn to align ourselves with our flow, with our creative flow, and bring our attention to to the present moment. So even after almost, I would say almost a decade and a half, I mean, in my upbringing, my father had a little bit of narcissistic traits, not a full-blown one, but a little bit. And when I was like 20 something, I had my own part-time business besides my college and whatever. I was sailing the lakes, and I felt a deep feeling of emptiness and loneliness inside myself. You probably know the story already, so I'm not going to bother you with this again, but still I still have these moments. I still have these moments where I feel like, okay, I think I had a productive day, I think I had done enough, I tried to discipline myself with exercise as well, healthy diet and whatnot. I check all the boxes, and still I can feel like, damn, I can still feel this lack inside of me, like, damn, still something is missing. I don't really feel a connection with myself. So I always need to remind myself, okay, so how can I bring back my focus again and feeling this connection? Of course I can do a quick meditation and something, but what also works very, very well, which is of course a very powerful manifestation technique, is to write down powerful affirmations. So let me share a couple of them. So instead of trying to focus on getting something or getting somewhere, again, focus more on the process itself. Focus more on getting in the zone, getting in the flow of letting your creative juices flow, right? Because then you can feel very, very present with it, and that's the moment where you can feel like this almost like instant satisfaction and joy and fulfillment that we all want to experience more of. And then these things, your goals that would be nice to have, nice to experience, they actually start to fall into place, right? Because you're not longer focusing on it, trying to get it, because you think or you believe like, okay, that's missing in your life, right? In order to be happy. What makes you happy is when you are in this zone, when you are in this flow where everything starts to flow through you, right? So here are a couple of examples of writing down some powerful affirmations. You always start with I'm glad and grateful that new ideas, new inspirations are flowing through me, and I can also express them quickly because of my skill sets in communications or whatever, right? Let's say let's talk about, okay, you want to, you know, do some creative work, videos, blogging, whatever, social media. So in that case, you think about, okay, I'm glad and grateful that new ideas are flowing through me and I can quickly express them, I can quickly bring them into the world, okay? Another one could be, of course, I'm glad and grateful because of my practical marketing and communication skill set, that I can bring these insights, I can bring these solutions, I can bring these ideas to the world and to others, so others can start to benefit from that, and then I'm helping others as well, instead of, oh, I'm glad and grateful because of my marketing skill set that can get me somewhere, that can get me something, right? So that's another very powerful one. You could also say, I'm glad and grateful I have developed higher levels of trust and patience within myself, that everything will come to me in the right moment and the right time, in the right proportions as well. So I'm being served and taken care of, that all the necessary resources to fulfill my purpose will come to me in the right moments, okay? So again, when you realize that, you start to, you know, connect with, let's say, a purpose or a cause or a mission that feels much bigger than yourself, which of course creates like a greater connection, right, to something that is, you know, feels like much bigger. Another very important aspect is, of course, is that you learn to harness, you know, your joy and satisfaction from the process itself, and that could already be like, okay, so I'm glad and grateful that I experience more joy and satisfaction from getting stuff done, right? Is checking the things on my to-do list, and you know, instead of from feeling apathetic because you're not getting the things you want and whatever, you know, you really connect with the activity itself, and you know, it feels like, hey, you harness satisfaction from constantly putting new seeds out in the world, like, you know, you're planting a new forest you know, for yourself that can support you eventually in the long term. So you're building something, and you know, every day you're layering new foundations of this artwork that you are, you know, getting out in the world, of doing your life work, bringing your life work into the world. And you can also say, you know, I'm glad and grateful that every day I make new connections with others, and instead that I go in this mode of, I need to, you know, reach out to others because I need to pitch them something, I need to get something out of that immediately, I need to have an instant gratification or whatnot, right? Because so many of us who start the journeys as an entrepreneur, right, they are being taught that, oh, you know, you need to go and talk to 50 people a day, and out of the 50 people, maybe a few of them will say maybe yes to your products, your services, and whatever, right? So that's also where I started my journey back many years ago, but then again, you know, that can cause a lot of stress and anxiety and whatnot, because, you know, everything you do is based on conditions. You constantly expect something out of this, and when you don't meet these expectations from yourself, you know, again, you can experience more stress and whatnot. So instead, you say something, oh, I'm glad and grateful I connect with people on a daily basis with the intention to, you know, actually really connect with someone, or with the intention to actually really build a relationship, which can give you much more joy and satisfaction and whatnot. And then eventually beautiful synchronicity starts to occur for you in the most unexpected ways, because you're letting go of your expectations. So this is still something I need to remind myself of each and every day, because many years ago I also started like, you know, big expectations on myself. I want to have this image and whatnot, and now I'm actually learning to develop more empathy and compassion for myself, and, you know, doing things that doesn't cause a lot of stress, anxiety, and burnout, but actually is going to nurture my soul as well. So it is a dance between, you know, masculine energy and of course feminine energy, that, you know, the feminine energy really wants to, you know, create from within. Creating from within, you know, it's like filling up her own glass of pure light, love, consciousness that eventually can start to, you know, flow over, and that can create beautiful attractions and synchronicities. The masculine is of course still like, you know, we need to go and get after it, we need to go and get hunting and chasing something, but you could also balance that of course in a more harmonious way, like learning to lower your expectations and come from a place of empathy and compassion, and not like, I need to close this deal or this or that, or because I need to get something or whatever. So this is a very beautiful dance that of course I love to explore myself, and that I'm constantly developing, and that I also like to share as well with you. One last thing that I wanted to share, that is actually, you know, a very beautiful realization from the, you know, world famous philosopher Alan Watts. He says that in life is basically like playing a music instrument, like a piano. I mean, when you listen to a beautiful piece of music, artwork, it's not about, you know, getting to the end of the song. It is to enjoy every note of the song itself, every note, and even the silence between the notes. That's where you can experience the true joy of life. So that's something, the last thing that I wanted to share. Now of course I'm very curious about your new insights. What is that you wanted to share? So yeah, feel free to leave a comment below, and also make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you're not going to miss out on any further updates on, you know, developing more compassion, empathy for yourself, and more satisfaction and fulfillment within yourself, instead of doing things that is causing a lot of stress, anxiety and whatnot. So hopefully this was helpful, and hopefully I see you in one of my next videos. Take care for now. Bye bye.